What is up, YouTube? Und welcome back zu meiner ersten Let's Play-Episode. Heute spielen wir zusammen mit der lieben Alexa eine Runde Skyrim. Jawohl, Skyrim ist hier für Amazon Echo rausgekommen, gab es zur E3 schon. Und ich habe es irgendwie verpennt, nicht mitbekommen. Und jetzt habe ich das Skill installiert und ich nehme euch mit auf die Skyrim-Erfahrung mit der Alexa. Das Spiel ist nur auf Englisch erschienen, gibt es scheinbar nur im US Amazon. Darum müsst ihr entschuldigen, ich muss mit der Alexa Englisch reden. Aber ich denke, man kann dem Ganzen folgen. Ich habe es ganz kurz angespielt und dachte, hey, das ist bestimmt total funny, dazu mal ein Let's Play zu machen. Also, here we go. Alexa, open Skyrim.
Welcome back to Skyrim, adventurer.
Jawohl.
You were standing at a crossroads deciding where to go. In one direction is an abandoned tower, in the other is a busy trading post. Where would you like to go?
Abandoned Tower. Immer schön zum
You
Ton.
meet a Breton adventurer at the abandoned tower. She's lost an item of great sentimental value, a helmet with pointy horns. She begs you to retrieve it for her. Will you lend your aid to this desperate adventurer?
Selbstverständlich. Yes. Of course. Natürlich.
Will you lend your aid to this desperate adventurer?
Yes.
You arrive at your first dungeon.
Oh.
As the mighty Dovahkiin, you obviously already know that you can use your weapon, cast spell, or shout to battle your enemies. And, seeing as how you're Skyrim's chosen one, you certainly will never ever need to ask to flee when facing an enemy too powerful for you. Nope, a powerful warrior like you won't ever need to flee, or even take enough damage to ask, what is my health? So let's continue. You follow the quest marker to your destination. Rabbits scatter as you enter the forest. You wonder why they are even in the game. Will you press forward on your quest?
Yes.
Birdsong fills the air. Strangely, you can hear them, but not see them. You hear clicking. That rock is actually a mud crab. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your sparks zap the mud crab. Your magic skill has increased to level 2. You have learned new spells. The mud crab attacks, but misses.
Ha.
What would you like to do?
Cast spell. Natürlich.
Your sparks shock the mud crab. It won't be getting back up. You survived the battle.
Yes.
Your health is at 100.
Ha. Großartig.
Your magicka swells with arcane power. Your magic skill has increased to level 3. There are 2 ways forward, a shady grove and a mushroom-lined trail. Which do you choose?
Shady Grove. Ha.
You move deeper into the forest. As you move carefully between the trees, you spot something. A bandit leaps out in front of you. He won't let you leave without a fight. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use weapon. Was haben wir überhaupt? Schwert.
Your dagger cuts the bandit. Your attack was not very effective.
Das ist schlecht.
Your skill with arms has increased to level 2. The bandit swings his weapon at you. You take 7 damage.
Ei.
What would you like to do?
Shout. Jetzt aber.
Foos. Your mighty Thum crashes into your foe.
Ja.
Your Thum grows mighty. Your shout skill has increased to level 2. The bandit swings his weapon at you.
Oh.
You take 7 damage.
Aua.
What would you like to do?
Cast spell. Glaube ich.
Your frostbite chills the bandit. You stare at the frozen statue before you, greatly impressed with yourself. You survived the battle.
Yes.
Your health is at 86.
Super
You
gut.
loot the bandit's remains,
Oh.
find a superior iron sword,
Yes.
and cast aside your old weapon. There are 2 ways forward, a barren hill and a wooden bridge. Which do you choose?
The wooden bridge.
You move deeper into the forest, jump across a shallow river and continue on. No time to dry your boots. You stand motionless for a moment, listening. Something's waiting for you.
Oh.
You hear heavy clacking noises.
Hi.
A giant mud crab snaps its claws menacingly. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Flee.
You consider fleeing, then remember that you are Dovahkiin, and that you really want that quest reward. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use weapon. Haben wir nur Schwert,
Your
ne?
sword strikes the giant mud crab.
Ja.
Your skill with arms has increased to level 3. The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You take 10 damage. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your flames burn the giant mud crab.
So.
The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You take 10 damage.
Au.
What would you like to do?
Cast spell. Again.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout,
Ja.
or flee. What would you like to do?
Cast spell.
Your frostbite chills the giant mud crab. Your magicka swells with arcane power.
Jetzt kaputt.
Your magic skill has increased to level 4.
Super.
The giant mud crab snaps its huge pincers. You take 10 damage.
Au.
What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your sword cuts deeply into the giant mud crab. The giant mud crab's dead shell clatters. If only you had time to make some steamed mud crab legs. You have triumphed. You have 56 health.
Oh.
You ignore the useless junk in the giant mud crab's inventory and find a flawless iron dagger.
Huh.
Ooh, shiny. You pick up the helmet with pointy horns,
Oh.
determined to return it to its rightful
Yes,
owner.
Quest
You
geschafft.
realize the path through the forest loops back to where you started your quest. That would have been good to know earlier.
Witzig.
The Breton adventurer thanks you for retrieving her helmet with pointy horns. How could she live with it? As a reward, she gives you a copy of the lusty Argonian Maid. You'll save this for later. You head out on the road and stop to forge a large number of iron daggers. Satisfied with your work, you venture out and you arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a spooky lighthouse.
Oh.
In the other is a dusty old wood mill. Where would you like to go?
Spooky Lighthouse. Bestimmt,
At the
oder?
spooky lighthouse, a Breton baker greets you. She desperately needs you to retrieve a childhood toy from a haunted cave. Will you help the Breton baker?
Yes,
You follow the quest marker to your destination.
natürlich.
It's not clear where this cave will take you. You really don't have time for it to be Black Reach. Will you venture in?
Yes.
The cave stand odor floods your nostrils, with just a hint of skeever droppings. You hear clicking. A large mud crab scuttles out
Also die
from the cleft.
Mudcrabs sind
You can
überall.
attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to do?
Use shout.
Foos. Your mighty Thun crashes into your foe. Your foe is resistant to this type of
Oh
attack.
nein.
Your shout skill has increased to level 3.
Toll.
You now command unrelenting force. The large mud crab attacks, but misses.
Ha.
What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your dagger pierces the large mud crab. The large mud crab snaps its pincers. You take 6 damage.
Oh, ja.
What would you like to do?
Use weapon.
Your dagger eviscerates the large mud crab. The large mud crab's dead shell clatters. If only you had time to make some steamed mud crab legs. You survived the battle. Your health is at 94.
Oh, haben wir wieder Leben dazugekriegt.
Your skill with arms has increased to level 4. You ignore the useless junk in the large mud crab's inventory and find a flawless iron war axe. Ooh,
Oh.
shiny. There are 2 ways forward, a creaking wooden door and a partially collapsed mine shaft. Which do you choose?
Creaking open door.
You move deeper into the cave. A shaft of light cascades downwards through a hole in the ceiling, illuminating the chamber. You feel an otherworldly heat. An apprentice fire mage stands before you.
Oh.
He seems unsure of his skills. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee. What would you like to
Ich
do?
will nicht schon wieder. Flee!
You flee successfully.
Yes.
All's well that ends well, you suppose. There are 2 paths before you, a mushroom-covered tunnel and a pitch-black tunnel. Which do you choose?
Pitch black tunnel.
You move deeper into the cave. Fresh giant spider eggs sit on the floor. You could swear one of them moved. A drag or thrall blocks the way. Something hidden is controlling it. And that something wants you dead. You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or
Ei,
flee.
ei, ei.
What would you like to do?
Cast Spell.
Your flames burn the Draugr Thrall. The Draugr Thrall attacks, but you parry the blow. What would you like to do?
Use Weapon. Das Spell hat ja nicht funktioniert.
Your war axe hacks the Draugr Thrall. Your foe has some resistance to that attack. The Draugr Thrall strikes you with its ancient sword.
Oh.
You take 6 damage.
Naja.
What would you like to do?
Use Shout.
You can attack with weapon, cast spell, use shout, or flee.
Sag
What
mal.
would you like to do?
Use Shout.
Foos row. Your unrelenting force throws the Draugr Thrall back, staggering it. The Draugr Thrall struggles to get up, briefly, then expires. Good riddance. You survived the battle. Your
Geschafft.
health is at 88. There are 2 paths before you. A
Alexa.
blow-laden path.
Stop.
Safe travels, adventurer.
Ja, sehr gerne. Ja, Freunde, das soll reichen. Ich persönlich finde, das ist ja so ein bisschen wie ein Text-Adventure, nur mit Sprache. Ich fand es jetzt aber sehr, es hat sich halt wiederholt, ne? Das mit diesem einen Biest und so weiter. Potenzial hat sowas schon, das könnte ich mir schon vorstellen, wenn du da noch ein bisschen was mit Musik machen würdest und anderen Stimmen. Aber jetzt so, nee, bis das soweit ist, bleibe ich doch lieber beim Octopath Traveler. In diesem Sinne, schön, dass ihr dabei wart. Wir sehen uns zum nächsten Pickup-Video. Bis dahin, euer Lario.